Okay. Where's its caboose? The caboose? I don't know. Can you go find it? I bet you know where it is.
Yeah. No.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another live stream that we're having this Thursday. So for today's episode, we're taking a little trip to the secondhand overland over here. And joined with me tonight is my good friend Mike and his son here from his channel, Datified. What's going on, guys? We're really happy to have you on the channel with us tonight.
Yeah, hey.
Hey.
Say hi to the internet. Don't kick the stand. How's it going? Yeah, thanks for having us on. This is it's been neat to watch before, so it's
Hey, it's my pleasure. So we are unfortunately having some technical difficulties for tonight's live stream, but we're definitely going to try to get through it as best we can. However,
oops. Is it? I wonder if it's a signal thing. Yeah, it says I got 2 bars down here. That's awful.
I can hear you perfectly, but the video is still kind of staticky.
I'm starting to. There's an icing car that we have where the top slides open to put in little ice blocks. That's American Refrigerated Transport, and it just says ART on the side. So
Yeah.
we have we have Art's car.
Nice.
You're coming through a little bit better over there. Is it? Excuse my.
Okay, so I'm noticing with your screen over here, it's starting to freeze up again.
Yeah, I noticed that on your end too. I wonder if it just looks fine on my end, just because. Colin, hang on a second. I wonder if it's.
Colin, come here.
I wonder if it's my connection. I wonder if there's anything I can do to improve it.
Hold on.
Oh, hi, hon. You made it onto the live stream. Congrats. Is that any better or worse?
I mean, the audio is kind of better, but it's still. I mean, you're still kind of staticky, but I can see you a little bit better
choppy
now. Sort of. So far, mine's still running pretty good here. Okay, so now your screen is starting to freeze up again. I can still hear you perfectly, but now I can't see you moving around.
Let's. I can get,
All right, that's
all
that's
right.
much better.
So now I'm close to a window. Oh, good. Yay. Now
All
I'm
right,
all
so
backlit.
let's go ahead and start the show off properly then.
let's-
How you guys doing out there? Welcome back
All right.
to another live stream this Thursday. So like I mentioned earlier, we are taking a trip to the secondhand overland tonight. And standing right here next to me is my good friend Mike from his channel Datafied. What's going on, man? We're really happy to have you on the show tonight.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for inviting us. I mean, I haven't met him. Continuing the trend. Thanks for
It's
having
my
us
pleasure. So what are you guys up to tonight when it comes to your layout?
on. Well, this but still a few things I need to work out on that end. Experimenting around on the other side of the layout, you can see all that foam and such. I'm trying out different techniques and different textures and such for trying to make some rocks over there. That'll rock, hopefully, pun intended. But yeah, so we have no idea. Well, not no idea. I have a baseline knowledge thanks to my dad had a bunch of G-scale trains, and we had a huge layout. Took up like a fourth of the basement in my house where I grew up. So definitely been around them, but we didn't really build a whole lot of like up scenery or anything. So that's a new one for me. So been spending a lot of nights thumbing through videos and techniques and such, and trying not to make a complete mess of it.
Very cool. And from what I understand, since the weather is starting to get a lot nicer this time of year, you guys still have like some of your G-scale trains outside in the garden railway. Is that correct?
Yeah, and actually that's at Dad's house too. He's got the G scale stuff indoors, and then in his retirement, he was allowed to venture outside, but on a hill, and and the grades are very steep, and so about 80% of his line is all elevated. It's all up on trestles, and it's really cool because it's like goes between the bushes and all that stuff, and it's not like on the ground getting eaten up by vegetation and such. But it's also like last year they had a really bad windstorm and it took down part of his fence, and part of the train was attached to that fence, so it kind of took that with it. So
Oh man.
it's not completely, you know, it's not completely bulletproof. So
Well, hopefully everything's still in one piece. I mean, you don't want to have like a really bad weather condition outside, and then have some of your not just your property, but also your engines destroyed.
station that he built that has lift off roofs and everything, that has all of the controls for the train, and the other half of it he also has room for an engine. So it's essentially it's shed. So he usually just leaves that there, leaves the cars outside because the car of the White Trestle Railroad. If you look on my YouTube, there's a short that just kind of walks through where the trains go outside. And then we recently did a
Nice.
yeah. What's new at your with your layout? I watch every week. You get a lot of new cars and stuff. I like the fire engine stuff you did last week.
Thank you. And it's actually funny when I was making one of my reels for that fire car. Well, not just the motorized unit version of the fire car, but also the 3512 fire car that I had. That reel that I made, not well. If you guys ever seen that reel that I made on YouTube, well, not YouTube, but it's actually on Instagram. Have you ever seen that video on Instagram? it actually took me probably like 30 to 40 minutes to put that whole video together, because with the actual video, running the trains was the easiest part of making that video, but the hard part was adding the animation to the actual video once everything was uploaded.
Yeah, no, that takes a little more editing than just shooting some things with the phone and then posting it, calling it a day. You've got to do a little more in post op for that. So it's always fun to see a little extra effort put into stuff like that.
I mean, they actually made it surprisingly really easy to put animation into your videos on Instagram, but they always say that animation usually takes like it usually does take a very long time, and they're definitely not wrong about that.
Yeah, I've been making videos for animate this text when it shows up. I've never like added stuff like that. That's years I've been doing videos. It's still like nothing I've ever ventured into or have any idea to do. So good for you for figuring that. Are you all self-taught on that stuff? What'd you do to figure out all your video editing techniques?
I mostly just use a lot of the animated stickers that they use on like not only Instagram but also Facebook. Animation is still kind of a thing. I'm still kind of working out a little here and there. I'm not. I mean, I'm not really a guy that does a lot of animation, but I figured since a lot of my videos on my social media page haven't really been getting that much attraction, I figured since I got a couple of action and animated accessories and a couple of cars here and there, I might as well make a couple of videos that really complement them very well, but also try some, new and creative ways along the way to help improve my videos. All right, we seem to be having some technical issues again, so we're gonna go ahead and take a break for a minute or so that way I can check to see what's going on in the comments section here.
Okay.
All right, looks like we got a lot of people joining us tonight. We got Brian from the Brian Rock Railfan YouTube channel. The Rose Jewels Railroad is also joining us tonight, along with Arts Model Trains. My good friend Dave is also joining us, as well as Ed from The Creative Mind.
Or Rules Jewel. I just saw his. He did a video on the Mikado, and I just picked one up, so we were already agreeing on lots of points on that.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So is there like? I'm still kind of new to this, so it seems like there's like a hub of YouTube train folks, and then like a hub of like Facebook. Like it seems like each media outlet seems to have like their own people.
Yes.
And whenever I try and blur the lines, they're like, "Who the heck are you? Or what the heck is that?" Like, oh, you don't know them with it's all social media, but they're all separated. It seems like so.
Right.
Gosh, I couldn't believe it. You said, "Oh yeah, make an Instagram," and shoot, that blew up. I think there's already like 30 followers in the first day or something like that. I was just trying to catch up with accepting all that. That was a fun day.
Well, I'm just really happy that I inspired you guys.
They're wondering how he's moving a train around with his hands. That little RS3, or I should say RS2, because Union Pacific never fielded any RS3s. The motor seemed kind of weird because he just likes messing around on the edge of the layout sometimes. Pushing these freight cars around. Whew. Got a little close to these two over here, buddy. I was almost. Normally I'm supervised a little bit better, but you guys have definitely got my attention tonight. I've got backup in case things go south, but doing all right so far.
Well, it's always nice to have a plan B.
You what?
Are your trains running?
What was that?
Running?
Who wants to know if
No.
your trains are running?
No, surprisingly they're not, because we're actually going to save that until much later in the video tonight.
What else are we missing in the comments? I thought I saw some coming through.
Dad, I found the diesel's caboose.
Oh, you did. Good job. Thanks, man.
How you doing, Sean?
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Good turnout tonight. It's fun. It's
Yes, I'm actually kind of shocked because this is probably the most amount of people that I've ever had on live stream this Thursday.
it's probably my fault. Mike over here, whichever side he's on, has been doing this much longer than I. This is our first live stream, and I'm thankful for him having us on. This is fun. But if there's technical difficulties, Mike's, working on trying to fix all that. It's probably me, and I have no idea.
No worries. I mean, if I can tell you a little bit of a secret, I'm not really a huge expert. I'm not really a huge expert or a what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I'm not really really big when it comes to the experience of live streams. I'm still trying to learn as I go along, and I figure, the more I do this with a bunch of other people that I'm friends with online, the better that these videos will come out to be.
Yeah, and doing them every week too probably helps. So it's a good time.
Sure does.
Let's see, I feel like I have to keep bringing up the chat thing to see anything, and then they disappear for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for him, Colin?
Our layout is big.
Well, no, that's ours. But any questions for him for his trains?
But we have a lot of cars.
We do have a lot of cars.
That is true. I
Something.
could definitely see it from over here.
Yeah, the yard's pretty full. I've got it kind of ready for some run sessions tonight. Kind of a combination of what he wants to run and what you guys told us to run. So thanks for voting and chiming in and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like I have a ton to choose from anyways, but pretty decent amount. Although there's one train that's gonna kind of have to. What are you doing? Are you making faces at Mike while I'm talking?
I like to make faces too.
At least you're egging him on. Thanks, Mike. Well, Colin, we have a train that you call Little Mike, don't we? Are we gonna run that one tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Mikado, as you guys probably know, sometimes they call them Mikes, and because ours is semi-scale and a little smaller than it probably should be, we call him Little Mike. So he'll be out with some of this, and goodness, you squirmy wormy.
Sounds more like Mike and Ike, if you can ask me.
I guess we had too many in the family. We had to use it for a middle name for him.
Yeah, and we don't got
Chief, but we're looking for one. We'll find one probably. It'll be cool.
He was making funny.
Is he making more funny faces at you?
Yeah.
People are just here for you. I mean, just us and trains. No, it's you. Like, see all those folks watching. That's all your fault. Oh my gosh.
You're definitely the star of the show tonight, buddy.
Hey, Colin.
What?
Can you bring your RS2 around to the signal tower over there so they can see it in the background? So, yeah. How long have you been doing not like the YouTube and all that stuff, but how long have you been doing like O-gauge trains?
I guess I kind of got my start in O-gauge probably ever since I was maybe like 5, 6, 7 years old. I mean, I really got my start and interest in model trains ever since I was probably like, I want to say maybe 3 years old. And it's all because my mom and my dad bought me this very special video series on VHS when I was real young. It was called I Love Toy Trains. It started about 1993 and it lasted through 2004. I mean, I guess I don't really need to explain to you guys what the video series is about. But anyway, I actually
Colin's even seen those before.
Nice. But anyway, I actually my parents actually did give me my first ever like starter set probably ever since I was like 7 years old. I mean, I always grew up running a lot of the trains that my dad had when he was growing up, but I didn't officially get my very first train set until I was like 7 years old for my birthday. And I actually still have that same train set today. It's a semi-scale model of the Norfolk and Western 611. It comes
Wow.
with a baggage car.
Oh,
It sure
that's a
is.
cool one to start with.
It actually comes with the baggage car, like I mentioned. It also comes with the dome car and the observation car. You also get a couple of lines of track to make like a big oval. You also get a lock-on as well as a circuit breaker. And then finally, you get the remote that comes with the locomotive.
Nice. Those starter sets are great.
They most definitely are.
Did we get a starter set? What was your first set? Do you remember? No, not that. No. Go, Colin. Can you go find it?
The
Go find it. So, like I mentioned before with my dad, I got started with G-scale. So my first train was Playmobil. There was a little black 040. Yeah, careful. Little black 040 steam engine with 2 red cars and an oval, and that got started. But I know. Do you want to hold down this and I'll pick you up? 2 hands, 2 hands. And this is what we got started with him.
Ooh.
Christmas, this thing rolls in. Yeah, this is a little dinosaur train. And it was literally, it wasn't even an oval. It was just a circle. No straights. Just all left-hand turns. I mean, shoot, it was like it was NASCAR. So,
yeah.
yeah. Do you like that one still?
Yeah.
You can see it in the
Very
video. There you
cool.
go.
It almost looks like
Yep,
something Jurassic
it's
Park,
this-
Jurassic Park related.
Sure. I think it's just dinosaur themed. I don't think he's seen Jurassic Park and that stuff. Oh, hi, Daphne. That's it's actually the same design as like Chris's Pet Shop Express and stuff like.
Mm-hmm.
I've fixed many things on it. Not so much from it not working, but from it getting trampled and stuff like that. But it's
Mhm.
on the live stream. Our problems, right? Yeah. What's up? I know you recently had with the little bumper trolley going back and forth. Do you have any other things you're trying to add to yours? You got a lot of stuff on that table.
You guys might want to have to repeat that again because you were starting to break up for a minute there.
Oh, sorry. I was just asking, is there new stuff on the horizon for your layout? Because I know you've added that bridge with the bumper trolley, but is there new stuff coming up for yours for the layout that you're making changes to, or just new trains and cars?
Mostly just couple new pieces of rolling stock and a couple of locomotives here and there. I mean, considering that the York train show is going to be coming up within another couple of weeks or so, I'm mostly just kind of winging it, by year, because you're not really too sure what you're supposedly going to be running into at big shows like that. So it's more or less kind of like a wait and see type of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the middle of, the Midwest, so York's a bit of a hike. It's not in the cards this year. I would like to go sometime. We have every May there's a local Nebraska and Iowa railroaders put together a train show, That's actually like it'd be a long walk, but it's practically walking distance from my house. And so we took the kids to that, and that was a lot of fun for them and for me. I wish I could have stayed longer. I actually had to get back to work, but that was pretty neat just to see that. But when I see the videos of you guys going through York and the middle of like Union Pacific has their headquarters here, and this is all we have for a train following. Come on, guys, get a little more going.
I definitely agree. I mean, when it
Yeah.
comes to me and my dad, whenever we go to the York shows, it's usually kind of like a hike for us because it's more or less kind of like almost up to 2 hours and 45 minutes to get up there. So it's almost like a 3 hour drive for us.
Gosh, yeah, 3 hours. I would do 3 hours honestly, but yeah, it's sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through some of the comments, make sure I'm not missing anything, and then it disappears on me if I don't touch it for a while. So, oh well, everyone's just saying hello to themselves. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. But yeah, it's fun being part of this community, and that's always something that I've found. Like, okay, hobbies I like, yes, but when I find hobbies with a community around them, those are the ones that I tend to latch on to. I don't know if you noticed the kid's got a little Subaru shirt on when I'm not moonlighting as a model train enthusiast. A retailer here that I work at, and I do a bunch of things regionally with them, and so that's a ton of fun. But I love the company and the people with them because there's a cool community of people, pretty neat scene, and it's been fun to be part of that. And I don't know that I would have latched on to it had it not been for the community. And so, surprise, surprise, when I start, Facebooking and YouTubing and all that stuff about trains, and all these folks start pouring out, and there's this like me, you only have yourselves to blame because you got a great community going here, and it's fun to be part of
Sure
it,
is.
or at least pretend I am.
Okay, so Art from Arts Model Trains wants to know if anybody is going to be ordering the new Lionel Mickey Mouse handcar that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, not exactly prototypical, right? But as three rails order in for that, I've been focusing. I feel like if we were a little bit further in with our collecting and everything, I'd probably go for something like that. But there's still a lot of other things that are further up on the list. Like he wants a Super Chief, I want an F3. There's a couple other things that are on the list that probably are ahead of Mickey and the hand cart. But that's going to be a cool one, I think.
Definitely is. So far, I think, from what I've been told from online, is that they have 4 of the original paint schemes that they brought back, and then there are 2 new original ones that are going to be Disney exclusives. But as much as I would like to get one of those Mickey Mouse hand cars, I just really can't afford them right now. Hey, Lark. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need any of the.
Okay, so I'm noticing that we're starting to lose the video again.
All right,
So I think what me and Mike are going to try to do here is try to detect one another, just in case.
Oh,
Because we still can't figure out what's going on with the internet connection here.
yeah.
But that's not a big deal.
That's
I think it's just
or
probably
is
your
it
end
my
for
end
some
that's
reason. I mean, I'm
You
not
can
really
blame-
blaming. I'm not blaming anybody here by any stretch. I'm just saying there's something wrong with the There's just something weird going on your end over there, from what I'm seeing.
wall then goes outside, and then the other end of the house is where the bedrooms are and where the router is for internet. Because at night before bed, that's where you need your best reception, when you're just thumbing through all the posts and everything. So that's where the best internet needs to be, apparently. But I need to move that because I got train things to do.
Yeah, I think I remember from one of your previous videos that you put out this week, you mentioned that you're starting to run out of storage space.
But I've already taken over nearly all of the basement space here. I mean, I did abide by your rules. I left the couch here. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but if you want to come over and run trains, this is the comfiest place to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do stuff all over the walls. I've got stuff underneath here. I took a page out of Art's book. I saw just a little wire, like you get from Home Depot, kind of make some shelves there. So there's some freight cars down there. But all of my engines are either in the yard along the ledge there, or there's another shelf that's underneath where I can control stuff. Shoot. Happy wife, happy life, right, guys? And if you haven't figured that out yet, then divorces are expensive. Keep them happy. Mike, any family plans in the future, or am I just gonna have to carry the dad torch here for a while? You're gonna run the bachelor life as long as you can.
I don't really have a response for that, so
It's all right. I figured of all the live streams I've seen, nobody's asking you about your relationship, dating life, or things like that. But you heard it here, ladies. He's available. So leave your number down in the comments, and we'll get back to you. All right.
I mean, it really depends if there's any watching, technically speaking. So
There's a bunch of old men in their basements going, "Oh yeah, cool, 2 guys with trains again, yay."
this is mostly just a guy's night out here, ladies and gentlemen. Or should
Well, I
say
saw you did
gentlemen?
one with Peachy's trains. I actually haven't watched that live stream, but I saw that you did one. So, and she's on the panel for York, isn't she? Like they have that kind of celebrity YouTube icon thing that they're doing or whatever. Did I see that?
So from what I've been told, they have like a breakfast every Saturday. Not just for the fall York show, but also for the spring York show. They have like a breakfast, and they also do like a little bit of a They also do like a live stream where they kind of like answer questions, and they also give out raffles and giveaways. And from what I also saw on social media, they're supposed to be having a much bigger, what's the word I'm looking for? What I mean, like they're supposed to have like a much bigger group this time around. From what I've been told, it's almost like it keeps growing and growing every year.
I completely lost you there.
Yep. That'll. I'm just really hoping that'll definitely be me joining them one of these days.
kid was born and dad things. Feed, but it's and I didn't want to lose connection with a lot of. If you look at older videos, they're not datafied. It's bazookafied, which is a name that my cousin came up with me like 15 years ago when we were littler. So that's all changed. It's all been fun, and the train bug hit, and there's no way out. I mean, I still can disassemble it, but I don't want to. This is too much fun.
So what can you tell me about how the actual layout came to be, and how long did it really take you to, install everything?
Yeah, the layout, we got an idea when we first ventured down here we were just trains on the carpet, and I wasn't really thinking of making a table at the time because I thought that was just going to be it's going to require too much space for what I wanted to do. And so we started running a single line back behind the couch. There's the Lounge-a-Palooza table. So behind that couch, it wasn't as wide there, but we were running a single line that kind of looped around here and looped around that way and looped around there. And it just kind of evolved into an idea where, hey, if I move the couch this far out, can I run 2 tracks and make this not run through the middle of the room to kind of make it a little more self-contained? And the more I started thinking about stuff, the more I started measuring things and trying to figure out what to do with it. By like April or May, I had a pretty good idea of where I wanted to put the table if I could get the green light to do it. And there used to be an entertainment center over on this side where the TV is. So I wall mounted that and put that up to get it up out of the way. And then I just needed to make sure that we had enough clearance for folks to get in and out of the couch, because having the couch there is one thing, but being Mr. was coming to town, and my son was all excited, and I just decided to set, hey, our goal. Hey, what's up? Goal is to try and. You're watching my video outside? Well, we're in here. Trying to finish at least the basic structure of the table before Big Boy managed to roll through. I'm not saying it was a rush job, but I probably could have spent a little more time on it. And as I've had more time with the table up, I've definitely gone back and tweaked a few things underneath and made sure that it's all right. So it's all there. We completed the table, the basic construction in June, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Very nice. Now, when it comes to me and my layout here, one table actually took much longer than the other one. So the main, I don't want to say the main table, but the one train layout that you see in the back here where I have the backdrop, this one, I believe I started around November of 2021, and I finally completed it I finally completed the whole thing on January of 2022. And then as for
Cool.
the second layout here, which is the main layout, this one started somewhere around in April of 2022, and I officially did not complete everything until July of 2023 this year. Now, just because I say it's done, that doesn't mean it's technically done. I'm mostly just
They're never
done
done.
with the I'm mostly just done with the construction of everything here. I mean, I might add a couple of new buildings and accessories and such, or maybe swap something out for another. But like they always say, a layout is always never done.
Need to see all these projects come together. I find myself backtracking into everyone's, older videos to see what their layouts look like before, because the finished products are cool. Okay. Especially when you're starting out, it's a lot easier to get inspiration for what to do with yours when you can see how everyone else started. So going back through, I mean, I'm kind of a documentary guy anyways. I like to go back and see all that stuff anyhow and learn from it. So going back and seeing what you guys have done definitely helps, and it makes it easier to you want to go up? I just had you. All right.
Up and away.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a little more accessible to see them in their infancy, and then figure out, oh, that's how they did that. It wasn't always, the Taj Mahal in your basement from the get. They all started like this at some point anyway. So it's encouraging to see that, and it's nice to be able to follow that progression. So all these train tables that have been built up for ages, I just really have to keep deep scrolling, going back in time to see what it looked like when they started, to get ideas.
I feel like the number one train layout that a lot of people definitely take a lot of inspiration from is the 1949 showroom layout, which Lionel made many years ago.
Well, if everyone that I've been watching has their inspiration from that, then I have too, but I have no idea which one you're talking about. You have to send me that link.
I mean, you can't. I mean, once you actually look at pictures of it and see a couple of old vintage video of it online, you'll never forget it, because that layout has really have become synonymous with a lot of post-war collectors over the years, and it actually has been remade a couple of times, and there might be some slight changes to maybe your version or somebody else's version. But no matter how much you modify it, the original will always be the best.
Wow, I didn't get any of that.
You will soon. I know it was some. I know a lot of the things that I say are mostly
Trains are down
bunch
here.
of mouthfuls here and there, but you'll definitely.
I'll go upstairs, I guess, and see if this works a little better, and we'll come back down for trains. It's probably my fault, folks. I'm sorry about crashing your party. Now you get to see my house.
Yippee! But like I said, you'll definitely
trains.
figure it out soon once I send
Hot
some
Wheels.
photos and a couple of videos to you later on.
Oh wait, I can just go up here. Is this working better for you already?
Yes.
Yay! It is just the basement. It's the secondhand overland's fault. Ooh, running sessions. Oh, wrong way. Come on, follow me. Running session is going to be really difficult.
I think we can still work it out, though.
Yeah. What are we missing in the comments? Jobs.
So I guess maybe we'll do another 15 to 20 minutes of the Q&A here, since you guys are already upstairs and Wi-Fi connection is working better. But then after that, we'll go ahead and run the trains for you guys, because we don't want to be boring you guys to death just by watching the both of us talk back and forth and
getting a house tour.
Exactly. So you mentioned something about Nerf guns earlier before. I had a hard time hearing you, but you did mention that you guys originally did Nerf guns for your channel, but then eventually moved to model trains. Is that correct?
Yeah, so Datafied, if we dial back in time, Datafied was Bazookafied, which was a name that my cousin had come up with for me when we were playing with action figures at his house when he was little. He was quite a few years younger than I. And I started the YouTube channel doing Nerf and laser tag reviews and custom blasters and games and all sorts of fun stuff. I still run a outdoor laser tag group out here, there's a gigantic park that backs up to our house, and I have 24 sets of laser tag Phoenix blasters that we loan out to friends and whoever shows up, and go out into the park and have a good time. So definitely still in the hobby with that. But there was less of there's just a couple games now and then these days. There's less of that going on. There were times when we were running weekly games, and there were anywhere between 25 and 35 people per week coming out. So that was a lot of fun when we were doing that. And then I got a little busy thanks to the kid, and it's not his fault, but wasn't able to do as much of my hobby stuff. So I ended up doing kind of updates here and there when I could, when I wanted to, when there was something relevant to make. And then when he started messing around with my blasters, when he was getting, 2 or 3, he was, occupational hazard of being a Nerf dad. They're just all over the house anyways. So, yeah, you don't have to buy as many toys because I already have them all. And then when we got the train set for Christmas, and with my background with trains, with the G-scale stuff, then, oh no, I don't know how to do hobbies halfway. Here we go. Secondhand Overland, taking over the basement. So it's been an interesting progression. If you see older videos of mine show up in your feed and it's like, why the heck has he got a dart blaster? Yeah. It's not a past life. I still do all that stuff. But yeah, that's how the channel got started. I always have folks asking, how do you have 4,000 subscribers, man? It's like, the channel's been around since 2012. Some of my viewers weren't born. So.
I think I probably started my channel about like 5 to 6 years later after you guys started your own.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, it had nothing to do with trains at all, because my second hobby has to, well, my second hobby here involves like, talking about and reading about Marvel and DC comics and such. And so that's what my channel was going to be originally from the start. But once I realized, not even though I was putting out some pretty decent like videos here and there, I noticed that the channel wasn't really gaining that much traction. So I had to think things over again. I took a break from YouTube for quite a while. And then after I started with Instagram and Facebook, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if there's like a model train community here. And to my surprise, there definitely was. And I noticed a lot of these guys who I look up to. I was also kind of thinking to myself, I wonder if there's also a YouTube train community. And lo and behold, the same guys who I followed on social media had exactly that. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? If something that you really love isn't broke, don't fix it. And if you haven't really shared it that much, definitely go with it. And uh, if you really love something, like I said, you should always stick with it. And that's basically what I did for this channel. So a lot of the Marvel and DC stuff had to go. And so I started all over with my model train community here. And definitely, if it wasn't for those guys, I probably wouldn't have stayed in the hobby like I am now.
Yeah, it's the hobby is still enjoyable, but having that community around it definitely makes it way easier to latch on to. It's been that way with me with trains. It's probably why stuff fell out for me for Nerf and laser tag, because all my friends that were doing that all grew up and had kids and all that stuff, and we weren't doing that stuff as much anymore. So, now I'm living vicariously through my kid. Oh, I'm into Hot Wheels again. Why? Oh, he'll be 4 next month. So yeah, plenty of it's an occupational hazard when the hobbies that you have great people in them. Then that's what keeps them going. And they're always talking about the next generation of model railroaders, or whoever is going to continue the hobby. It's not just can we market this to kids? It's if they want to be part of something and then identify that there's something here to be part of, then they'll latch onto it. And regardless, I know you did a video I watched of the kind of the state of the hobby, state of the trains and everything right now.
Yes. Yes.
And I almost wonder. I mean, we're to the point now where I could not believe it. I was at the car retailer where I work. I was showing somebody, the Bluetooth controls, and to answer the phone, there's a little picture of a phone, or what I think looks like a phone, but they've never seen a phone shaped like that. They've never seen like the receiver ends and the handle. They've never seen that before,
Mhm.
and so I had to explain to them what that was. And so it's like, if the transportation industry changes any more, then steam locomotives are definitely a thing of the past. So it's like, what are these things that are running around on these rails and such? Like, it, is the medium gonna outlast the actual mode of transportation? Because yeah, it's pretty crazy to see how the influences of folks that love steam engines. There's not a lot of them running these days. You have a couple scenic railroads, and then that's really it. The only steam locomotive that we see around here is at the zoo. Now, thankfully, our zoo actually has a replica of 119 Union Pacific from the Transcontinental Railroad signing. So my son is convinced that was the train that was present at the Transcontinental Railroad signing, and so he geeks out when he sees that. But yeah, for most kids, that's probably the only train they're going to see is at like an amusement park or a zoo or something like that. So I guess it's still around. We just, need to make sure there's a hobby here ready for them, and that we're not too proud of our scale proportions and all that other stuff. There's so many ways to enjoy this hobby. There's so many products and eras and things to collect and ways to do it, and they don't all have to be on a table. They can be on the carpet. They can be up around the ceiling. It can just be something that you set up every once in a while. It can be just the thing around your Christmas tree, whatever.
Definitely.
It's so easy to see hobbies get consumed by the extremes. I've seen it happen in car culture where like everyone's just at each other's throats. If you're not into exactly what they're into, then whatever you're doing is crap. And it's a really easy way to discourage people from continuing the hobby any longer. So whenever somebody's like, "Oh no, you need to get into legacy, man. It'll change your life." I'm like, yeah, well, I'll also have to change my layout because I can't run 72 turns. So, you know, for us, it was an accessibility reason why we kind of stuck to semi-scale. It's also helped with cost, obviously. But it's still good fun. I think for folks looking for the ultra realism side of things, then that's fine. And I certainly enjoy watching all those high end scale models and everything. And I'm really happy with what we've got because I don't know. And I really like what you've got on your leg. You got a lot of more of the older stuff. I feel like our little icing machine would fit in great on your layout. I'm trying to find a space for it on ours.
Mhm.
But for us, I really like this modern semi-scale control elements, but not full-on legacy command control stuff. It's really been fun messing around with the semi-scale Lionchief. Like you have enough of the newer features to make them fun to use, especially for kids. But then you don't have, it's not so intricate and so like all these little handrails and everything that can break off on the things. Still have molded in details, and they're rugged. They can put up with a 3-year-old and such. So this semi-scale control with Lionchief and everything has been a lot of fun for us to explore. And I always feel like you're either modern scale or your vintage semi-scale. Everything looks like tin plate, like super old, and there can be an in between, and we're enjoying that in between right now.
And then there are also some people out there who can't really afford Legacy or DCS. I mean, Lionel is definitely taking they're taking a little bit of a step forward by introducing a lot of new Lionchief Plus locomotives where not only you can run them with the Lionchief Plus system, but you can also run them with the TMCC Legacy or I don't want to say with DCS as well, but
Right.
that's a whole other story. And I've also kind of noticed a little bit of a pattern in the comment section on that video I made earlier, like a day and a half ago, where some people are mentioning that it's mostly kind of just like the attitude that a lot of the seniors and older folk are having with the younger, like general public, where they're nitpicking on almost everything. Like you're running your trains too slow, your cars might look out of order, or you're running some passenger cars with a freight train that's not prototypical. I mean, I feel like the attitude really does need to change because I feel like that's definitely one of the number one things that's really turning a lot of the younger people away from the hobby.
The more animosity they have, the fewer people you're going to bring into it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's really cool that you know that three rails really existed, but is that really what the post that you want to die on? Is that really where you want to hang your hat? Is, oh yeah, I told that guy off. There were three rails. Haha. It is prototypical. Like, calm down, have some dip. It'll be fine. People just, I don't know, like, there's already enough drama and everything else in our lives. I don't need it to infect my hobbies.
Mhm.
I
And
need
and just like with
smile.
society, and just like with society today, just like with the model railroading, I feel like the economy is starting to become very split lately, and just like not just with the economy, but also with the hobby as well. We really need to come to a point where we can stop arguing with each other and really work together for a change.
Oh, yeah. And I think, and part of what's probably difficult with getting into the hobby is when you have fewer people that can, afford. Like, I just saw someone, I think it was Culp, just mentioned that can't afford a new Lionchief, and new Lionchief engines are still really expensive.
Hmm.
But you can get a secondhand Lionchief engine for pretty decent. So looking around at stuff like that certainly helps. But when the focus is on the secondhand market, that probably doesn't help Lionel stay in business. So I always wonder if I'm doing anybody any favors by promoting getting things secondhand as much as I do. But it's definitely a great way to start. Um, but yeah, if we be good to each other, enjoy all the different aspects of not just O gauge railroading, but just model railroading in general. There's a lot of cool things out there. There's a lot of neat videos. There's a lot of there's a lot of great folks out there, and I think as long as we focus and we if we focus on the good, then the good tends to stick around. If we overlook the good and we focus on the bad and all the drama and everything, then that's all everyone else sees. So when you're instead of getting sucked into the internet bullies or whoever on there and giving them the reaction that they crave and that they live off of, if we instead focus and bring up those that are doing good in our hobby, then we'll be in good shape. It's just so easy. Like it seems like negative stuff is trending. I see folks making posts about, oh yeah, no, all these people say all this crap about my stuff, but I'm just doing me. Like, well, that's good that you're just doing you, but by publicizing the fact that you're acknowledging all the crummy things that they're saying about what you're doing, all you're doing is focusing on the fact that other people don't like what you're doing.
That is true.
So it's a slippery slope. It's unfortunately it seems like a bit of a trend that's going around. And I really hope that folks can flip that around and focus on the good things that they have going on, the stuff that they're proud of doing, and the people that are there to lift them up around them.
Definitely. And also, before we go ahead and move on with some more of the questions that we have for each other, I do want to mention that I also do have a brand new video, like we're talking about just now, about how the hobby is slowly starting to decline. I'll definitely make sure to leave that video in the link down below in case you guys haven't watched it already. But it's also really up to you guys to decide, is the hobby really dying, or do you think it's definitely improving? But also, I also do want to add on to make sure to please be respectful in the comment section because we don't want any fighting or bickering with one another. We really do want to enjoy this hobby as a whole, like I mentioned before.
Yeah, uh, it's it's always better to leave with a smile than a scowl, and it takes more muscles to scowl anyway. So keep smiling, keep running your trains, keep learning from each other, keep supporting each other, and latch on to the good. Honestly, that's going to be the difference maker, not just in O gauge railroading, in everything, especially our hobbies, because we all come to these hobbies to some are escaping stress of work or family stuff or social things or whatever, and this is your happy place. And so it shouldn't be surrounded by folks that are gonna nitpick, why are you running those cars backwards, or that's not really prototypical kind of stuff. So you know what? At the end of the day, I grew up with a weird last name that I got teased a lot when I was a kid. And my mom always told me, if you feed the bullies, they will keep coming back for more. Like, well,
That
how
is
do I
indeed
feed them?
correct.
You feed them by reacting to them. So just starve them of their basic nutrients and hopefully they will go away.
And then sometimes you also gotta have to use reverse psychology on them too, because right off the bat, sometimes you don't really know how these people are going to react to you right away when you first meet them.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, I don't see a whole lot, especially like folks in the comments on videos and stuff are so supportive and full of insight and everything, and I really enjoy reading through that stuff. And I'm sure you see the same on yours. And um, it's a great way to embed. Like I feel like I can spend more time and focus more on this hobby because there's a worthwhile community around it to contribute to. Maybe something I'm doing will help somebody else learn, even as I'm still learning. Maybe somebody's a couple steps behind me trying to figure out what I'm doing, and they're able to find a solution that way. So you and I may not be at the cutting edge cusp of Eric's trains, magnificent norms, detailed layout kind of stuff,
Mm.
but there are still good things folks can get from you and me and everyone else here in the comments that's likely got 3 rails of trains somewhere in their house. So thank you again for everybody for logging in and hanging out with us. It's
Definitely.
it's it's what you make it, and so if you invest good things in the community, then the community gives back. And it's been a lot of fun. I enjoy the trains anyways, but it's so much easier to jump off of that deep end into O-Gauge train land when there's all these happy smiling people to catch me.
It is.
What else you got? Anything in the comments we're missing? It's
Okay,
apparently
well,
that's been killing it.
looks like Ed has something weird he has to mention about your last name. He says that Dedified, you have weird last name. Mine has 3 Z's and 1 vowel.
Okay. That's some pretty creative spelling there, but pretty cool. It's yeah, it's I mean, in school kids will be cruel. They'll find anything to tease you for. And unfortunately some of those folks that teased you then never grew up and now have free range and are keyboard warriors, and they
Mm.
would just love nothing more than to turn your smile upside down and make your day terrible, because that's how they got their kicks then, and they still haven't grown up.
And it's almost like they never want to grow up. They always just want to stay the same over and over again.
Yeah. Mute, hide, go run some trains.
Been there, done that.
We've got our ways to cope, obviously. We wouldn't have rooms full of trains if we didn't. Or Nerf blasters in my shed.
Okay,
Should
so
I-
Art says, I do believe the hobby is in good shape, but the economy and cost of trains causes the whole thing to start to slow down.
Well, and I got a shout out for Art. If you guys haven't seen his video on financially planning to get trains, some good tips from that man. So go check out that video.
That one's for you, man.
Oh, hey, another Nerf. Culp's got Nerf blasters too. All right. Yay. I mean, I did make a short with my kid where we were just playing a Nerf game through the whole house. And shameless plug, I did actually put in my Mikado pulling a little hopper car full of Nerf darts. And then behind it on the flatbed was an extra blaster because mine had jammed, and got to use my trains to help fuel my Nerf war through the house with the kiddo. That was so much fun to make. It's weird because like that video got like no views. Like I think it only got like 60 or 80 views or something like that. And whatever, I don't care. I had a lot of fun making it. He loves watching it. He shows it to his friends at his daycare. Should we do
Okay,
the nerd
so
flash? A whole bunch of exploding Lionel box cars. Yes.
I would like to
Yeah,
have a bunch of those.
I saw one of those in a shop and didn't know what I was looking at, and then like I saw it on somebody's layout and like somebody used it. I'm like, oh my god, that's what that was. How did I miss that? That's the perfect crossover for my previous hobbies and my current infatuation with O-gauge trains.
So
I
it
got it
appears
here.
there was actually a comment that I missed earlier before, but I think your wife might have been watching us earlier
Oh,
on the live
good.
stream.
Yeah. Sucking up the bandwidth, right? Making it lag. No, and to that credit, yeah, happy wife, happy life, happy spouse, happy house. She knows that, you know, especially like when she was taking online classes and stuff and up working on her on those studying. It's like, well, kids asleep, what am I gonna do? And the train table definitely came to life a little more because I had a little more time to myself, and I was wondering if she was gonna get mad about that. And she's like, well, no, I understand. Like, I've got my stuff that I'm doing right now, and you can't exactly, sit there and study with me. Um, so, yeah, completely fine with your hobby and with what you're doing. I'm like, oh my god. So, yeah, find a good one if you haven't already, folks. Stick with them, keep them happy. They'll keep you happy. Everything comes in twos. It's like your A and your B unit. Is that a diesel thing? I don't know.
Yes. Or whether it's your steam locomotive and your tender. They just go
Right.
together like peanut butter and jelly.
She's got the tender.
Or peanut butter and chocolate, depending on what you guys really like out there.
Yeah, what's up? Come what? Oh, okay. Come here, buddy. Hang on just a sec. Do you want to say goodnight to the internet?
Good night.
Cool. We'll make some more videos for them and show them what we're doing, okay?
Yeah.
Can you say, Mike, thanks for having us?
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Okay.
No problem.
Cool. All right, well, he's going to take off. I'm going to stick with you guys, but why are you showing us some skin? This is weird. Right?
We're trying to keep things PG here tonight.
Right?
Or PG.
What's out of the door? That's Child Protective Services. Great.
This channel is only meant for people who are watching PG or PG-13 related, subjects here.
Right. So yeah, so how do I get this reception? I'm literally just standing above where the train table is and everything. I wonder if I could can I just run off the Wi-Fi? No. Can I just run off the cell signal and ditch the Wi-Fi, or does the live stream require both?
I mean, usually whenever I do like a live stream every Thursday, I always end up using either my phone or my iPad. I mostly just use my iPad for the most part, but if you also have like a cell phone on you, that would also work as well.
This is my cell phone.
Okay.
So I wonder if I can I don't even know if I know how to access. No, I don't want to close. No, come back. Yeah, you're there. I'm not gonna mess with it. It'll be fine. Worst case, if you guys want to see what my trains look like when they run, I have plenty of videos.
So somebody's mentioning that you should probably get like a Wi-Fi extender.
Yep. Yeah, up until the 21st night in September. Any Earth, Wind, and Fire fans out there? Yeah, up until tonight, I haven't really had a reason to have really good reception in that part of the house, and the router's over there. So yeah, or maybe I'm on the wrong. I hope I'm on the right Wi-Fi because there's one that gets a little bit better range, but I don't really know how to change that while I'm on the phone with you doing the live stream without dropping it. So maybe I shouldn't mess with it. Let's see. Oh, hey, there we are. If I turn off Wi-Fi and am I still connected?
Yes. I mean, you're
Seems
still
like that's
there, but
worse.
you're slowly starting to slowly starting to become staticky again.
Okay. Well, then let's somewhere in here. There it is. Turn that back on. What am I connected to? Ugh. Is that better already? I think
Yes.
leaving the Wi-Fi is going to help. All right. Well,
Okay.
shall
So
I
since
descend to the basement?
that you should. So since we're about like an hour and 10 minutes within the live stream, what have you guys have planned for us tonight?
Oh, well, we've got some stuff to run. And as long as you guys hang on with me with the signal, there's really only 2 lines here. Oh, hi, Daphne.
Beautiful dog, by the way.
Thank you. That light's shining in our faces right now. But there's this elevated line, which just kind of runs as they do. And then the whole rest of the thing is all the other line. So I was going to run. Well, I guess I can bring you over and show you. Take this thing off. All right. How do we... I can flip it. Oh, ho, ho. Now we're in business. All right. So up first tonight, one by request from my son, the other by request from actually quite a few folks wanted to see the Challenger on here. So I've got 2. On the main line there is Big Boy 4006, and he's pulling a bunch of freight cars. Oh, that's right. I need to get this consist of cars off here because this thing doesn't run. Oh, and he brilliantly attached it to the caboose over here. That's great. Oh, check it out. Scale. Semi-scale. Very semi-scale. My goodness, look how tiny that is, folks. That's adorable. I believe this is from one of those older Lionel starter sets.
It's almost like having a little toddler on your layout.
And that's because it is. Literally. So, we're going to...
Little toddler's toy.
Right. Grab a few of these off here and put them over here on Art's shelf.
Those are really nice too. I really do enjoy those covered hoppers.
Yeah, and the hopper cars are my son's favorite, so he always gravitates towards them. It doesn't matter what road name they are. It doesn't matter what colors they are. He runs hopper cars. This Pennsylvania one's actually really nice because it's got a coal load in it. It's the only one that I have with coal. The rest of them are all covered. I wish I had more.
I'm actually the opposite. I mostly have a lot of the semi-scale hoppers that have the coal load in them.
Yeah.
And some other ones that don't have the coal load. And then I only have one that actually has the cover on top.
Nice. Yeah, so for fans, if you ever see Union Pacific RS3, because this is the RS3 model, Union Pacific never actually ran RS3s. They only ran a couple of RS2s. But one of those RS2s was number 1292, just like this one. So it works. I wanted to make this train set a bit of a history lesson for him as well. So I made sure I did a little bit of homework before just clicking on things on the internet. I mean, it's semi-scale, so it can't be that accurate, but...
Nice to have a little bit of trivia for tonight.
Right? But yeah, so... I'm going to get these 2 rolling. I'm going to get Big Boy out on the main line first, because he's already on it. And then once he clears this track, which is the entire entrance to the rest of this... well, I wonder if I should keep Challenger on standby first and go with the Mikado. The Mikado is kind of neat because I just picked up... Okay, so the Trains had that K-Line sale, and these 2 semi-scale boxcars have separately applied details, and they open and close and everything, and they're numbered differently. I have never actually seen that in semi-scale. I've never, like, you only see that in like scale where you buy like 3 of the same car and they all have different serial numbers or different numbers on the sides there. So these two cars, though visually identical, have different numbers, and I don't know. I thought that was cool. I felt like a scale model railroader when I picked those up. But yeah, let's run the mic. I mean, because we're mics, might as well run the mic. And if the Rose Jewel guy is still on here, then he'll be happy to see that too. I'll get those two running, and then I'll get this top line running here. The top line has an old friend of mine. This, if you haven't seen the video, this is Pistons. This is a non-Lionchief model that has been converted to run Lionchief. And I got a video covering kind of how and why I did that. He's a fun little engine, and he handles this top line like a champ. All right. Oh, that's
and before we go ahead and operate my layout here as well, I understand that you guys are really big Union Pacific fanatics.
Just a bit. It's not on our wall or anything.
So what I have here on my layout here is my Proto Sounds Union Pacific 4014 Big Boy from MTH.
Very nice.
I also have my reproduction of the Lionel 613 Union Pacific NW2 switcher from 1958, which technically this was made around 2010 by Lionel's conventional classics line.
Very nice. And
then the final engine that I have on the second layout here is this beautiful reproduction of the anniversary Union Pacific Alco set from 1994.
I like that a lot. Hey, I'm in my basement, but it seems like I'm breaking up less. So, is this still working for you?
Yes.
Yay. This is not going to be the smoldering cloud of disaster that I thought it was going to be on my end.
Well,
all right.
We're still doing pretty good here, so guess we'll just play the rest of it by ear.
Right. All right, I'll go. Should I start firing stuff up?
Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and fire up the big boy while I'm at it.
Yep. All righty. Sounds good.
So for those of you guys who are still watching, make sure to enjoy the rest of the live stream here. We're going to do a running session between me and Mike here, and we'll hopefully get to catch up with you guys at the end of the stream. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the video.
I heard you powering up.
Swing that spout over.
Derailment.
Dispatcher here. Please hold for track orders. Over. Roger. Let me know when I get home. Out.
she goes.
Hey, Dad, are you doing that?
No, I'm doing some trains. Hey, you got your train jammies on. Oh. You want to watch him go around? All right. As long as it's okay with Mama. Is he shooting the whistle at you, buddy? Do you see the new cars he's pulling? Not yet. Did you see the new box car, buddy? Here it comes out of the tunnel. Oh, looks like it's getting a little glitchy. Careful. Hey, they're running again. They're going past each other, buddy. Look at them. Do you want it to be over? Do you want to go upstairs? Should we do a little night train for him? I don't know. Mom's coming down now. Well, I don't have any passenger cars to do night train with on right now. Here comes that Challenger for you guys. Coming through this tunnel here. There's the smoke shield you should have, Art. Yes, there are currently 3 trains going at the same time right now. Actually 4 if you count the top loop. You can turn it on autopilot. But I'm gonna have the big boy have the right of way. Operate Mikado with this one with the Lioneltrains controller. And operate 3976 the Challenger as I can. Trying to keep the sound on the engines down a bit because my son's trying to go to sleep upstairs and this is admittedly a little loud. There goes the Challenger and the big boy in the background. Big boy is going towards the yard and the Challenger is bringing up the rear. I'm going to slow down Mikado a little bit here. Thanks, Art. Thanks for coming. I'll run the T1 soon. Oh, hey, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, I love that new caboose. He just left it on me. Speed up Challenger here a little bit.
All right, hopefully that's much
Otherwise,
better
big boy's gonna run him over. Seems like we have a pretty good connection going right now, actually. Knock on wood. I'm gonna hit the light again so you guys can see better back there. Oops, I'm light. Oh, nice. PS3 big boy. Very good. Oh, now we got Night Train on your side. Ooh, I like the city. Oh, that looks great. Oh man, 4 trains running at the same time. On 2 lines. Got a little bit of a gap here. I can close that with the Mikado. There he is coming down the line. Meccano is the newest edition. It's a Lionchief right out of the catalog. First new engine I've ever purchased. Really impressed with it, actually. Challenger's coming down the line next. This engine originally did not have side plates, even though prototypically it should have, so I added some. And someday Art will too. Running Union Pacific MPC era cars with LED lights in them that do not work very well. Still trying to figure that one out. Oh man, Mike. Your Diesel's going through with those MPC era cars are fantastic. Actually, those might be real. Real proportions look a little bit shorter than mine. I really like those. Might lose my good reception. Try and move towards the yard now. There's a little bit more aesthetically going on there. Looks like the feed is still keeping up, so that's good. Here comes Challenger coming around the yard. Take one more good look at the Challenger as it goes round. Love that engine. But I can't have two passenger trains on the line. We're going to switch over to the T1 off camera. Hopefully, don't screw this up. All right, folks. You asked for it, and I'm going to oblige. Coming around the edge of the layout, right underneath the railroad sign. Lionmaster, Pennsylvania T1 duplex. This is number 5514. So this is not the legacy equipped version. This is good old TMCC. She is a beauty. I slowed down a little, Mike. There's big boys in his way right now, and I'm trying to make this transition. Throw him down and back into the yard to pick up those cars. Big boy is still on cue. Looks like the live stream's still going. That's good. And there goes the T1 out of the yard with those cars. Let's move back over here. Okay, big boy up to speed. Woo! There, Mike almost rear-ended the big boy. Why isn't the big boy speeding up? There he comes. I love these MTH cars. There we go. There's history. The T1 going past the Union Pacific big boy. That would have been cool if that had ever happened in real life. Alright, I successfully transitioned the T1 on. Alright. They're passing each other in the back. And there it happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of a derailment. Oh, no, you don't, little Mike. Woo! That was close. There we go. Big boys moving a little more now. 2-1 is pulling past me. Trains now. Big boys puffing around. Pistons just doing the same. Funny. Union Pacific, Big Boy 406, while I'm at the operating is on display. Static display at the Transportation. So, I guess they both kind of like that at the same place, just different times. I can't wait for the 2-1. We got that cool project for the time to be built on. 2-1 trust. You have to check that out. Definitely appreciate it. And on the other hand, if you're selling anything, it's been so loud down here with the train. It might derail the big boy again. Nice throttle is touching. Listen you guys again. I'm all just running off of TMCC now. 2 engines, 1 controller. I think I'm gonna call it a night here soon. Yes.
So now I'm gonna go ahead and give the big boy at least a few minutes, so that way it can cool down for a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and bring out my ST45 Conrail locomotive.
Well,
There she is. the beautiful T1, which came out from Lionel almost 20 years ago.
Most of my notable engines. Oops.